Honestly, you kind of stop and look for a second. We definitely scored on the view today. So on this trip, it was really cool, the number of things that we planned that worked out, but it was also cool the things that changed from the plan and worked out better than what we had expected. It's kind of the unplanned ones that end up being more satisfying even. So, we have finished up the first chapter of this trip. We've left Mom and Dad in Pinedale, and we are headed off into the Wind River Range. We're gonna find camp for the night. We are pretty stoked so far. Everything, the colors are awesome. Everything about the trail, it's just, everything looks gorgeous. So, stay tuned.
Make way for the cows.
This campsite to our right might be just what we've been looking for.
This looks like a great spot.
Yeah, I like it.
And it's only 5:15, so we can get set up. I think we should get settled in for the night.
I agree. Let's do it.
Get some dinner.
Dinner is going to be amazing, so stay tuned.
Oh man, honestly, you kind of stop and look for a second. We definitely scored on the view today, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty.
This feels like a really good camp to get our feet under us for our second chapter of this trip.
Mm-hmm.
Having left Mom and Dad behind, it's just the three of us for the remainder of this trip. And since we're into camp early today, we have some time to discuss our route for the next 2 days of exploring the Wind Rivers.
So tomorrow there's an overlook, at least it shows on the map. Basically a trail that gets up and it overlooks the Green River Lakes area, and we're gonna try to hit that offshoot. This is the one main trail that I know of that is probably gonna be kind of cool trail-wise, and the lakes. And we'll just have to see how long this takes, and then I have more routes picked to go north. We don't know much about that.
A significant concern, especially being a solo vehicle expedition from here on, is our four-wheel drive system, which was giving us some problems a few days ago.
So the four-wheel drive is working. I put it in low range, and I plan to keep it there for the majority of the rest of the trip. It should work fine staying there. While we're in Pinedale, I looked at some YouTube videos to figure out exactly what the issue might be, and I picked up another actuator motor for the transfer case. It's a pretty easy swap out, so if we end up with it not working at some point later on down the road, there's a couple solutions. One is a little temporary fix, adjusting the little sometimes there's some corrosion on the little sensor. We can clean that off, and if that doesn't work, then we have the new actuator to fix it, hopefully the right way. But I don't intend to do that as long as, it's in four-wheel drive now, and we'll keep it there, and hopefully we don't have any issues.
So, camp's right back there, and there's a little 2-track offshoot leading to, pretty epic visual. We think there might be a little creek down in this valley, and anytime we get the opportunity to rinse our feet off, do a little wading when we're at camp, it's always a good day. So we're taking a little walk here before supper. I don't know, man. Not sure about the creek. Well, there's something. Yeah, we can see the reflection.
So,
okay, maybe there's something. You never know what you might find on a little walk near camp.
It's true. But this time, the unexpected discovery was just how epic our campsite choice really was.
That's pretty cool.
That's beautiful.
That's pretty cool. How about that for a backdrop?
How is it that just getting 200 feet from camp makes it like 10 times more epic? We're right there, isn't
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, baby.
It's pretty epic, I'm not gonna lie.
Wyoming, man.
Definitely worth the walk. Would not have seen that view if we hadn't walked over here.
So tonight we're doing tomato soup and a twist, my twist on grilled cheese. Here's our meat for tonight. So as with any typical grilled cheese, you've got cheese. But to make this a little bit heartier, especially if you're just having tomato soup, and to add some protein, I like to put in ham.
So far, this is my favorite camp. I mean, like,
This is pretty good.
I talked a little bit when we were back in Pinedale about being like, okay, so 2 days, you know, kind of ready to wrap it up. But man, oh man, this camp,
Where you found this?
I'm just like, I am back in the swing of things, so to speak. Like, I'm just super tickled. This is great. Nice and hot.
Early morning at our first camp on this second leg of our trip here. It's pretty beautiful. Man, camp last night, just like one thing on top of another, just kept being perfect. Katie's making breakfast as per usual. It's gonna be eggs and bacon today, which I'm looking forward to. And today, from what I understand, is gonna be a pretty epic day.
At the first camp, I saw a moose after dark when I was going to get some firewood. That's about all we saw. At the second camp, we were really hoping to see some wildlife come through that valley. We ended up hearing some elk bugling that night, which was pretty cool. Come to this camp and we're just looking over this valley going, you know, it would be so cool to see, you know, some wildlife moving through this valley.
We have a
Cool.
moose.
There's a bull moose with a nice rack coming down the creek down there. It actually happened, which that's pretty cool. We're pretty excited about that.
He's absolutely beautiful.
We have everything?
I think so, sweetheart.
Awesome.
Let's hit the trail.
Let's go. I'm excited about today because there's a really cool road that we're gonna try to do. I saw it on a map. There's a Forest Service road that gets up to a bluff that overlooks the Green River Lakes here in Wyoming, and this is the road. So it's a little 2-track, which is what we like, and I'm really excited to see what the view's like from up there, if we can make it up.
It's a hitch. Okay. So as you suspected, it's getting narrow.
Yep, we are getting nice and narrow. Oh, but it opens up. Go through the trees here, come into the little valley.
Beautiful.
Standard issue bank drive through here.
Yeah, let's see. Can you look down by the tire line?
You're not really gonna raise up at all.
Whoa, okay, this is pretty.
That's really cool. That's pretty cool. This is cool. I'm so far I'm like, I think it's gonna be worth it. Like,
I'm very excited.
Whoa.
Oh my word! Oh my word! Yes! 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 This is it! This is it!
Wow.
I'm a big fan of any mountain vista. But for me, the satisfaction of it is tenfold when it's something you had to physically exert in order to reach, like a mountain hike, or when it's something so off the beaten path that it feels like you've uncovered a hidden gem, just between you and God and the people you're with. And that's how we feel right now.
This is pretty awesome. It's not every day that I can look on a Google picture and find just the awesome, just, you know, the greatest place to go. But this is super cool. Can't quite see the lake as much as could have liked, but we can see Green River Lake down there a little bit. Flat Top Mountain is over there. The Wind River Range is going off that way. This is pretty epic. This is pretty cool.
Just when we think the moment can't get any better, as we turn our backs on the vista to head down the mountain, we catch a glimpse of something in the distance that might be described as the cherry on top.
So we're up here on this overlook, and somehow I just looked over and we're looking at another mountain range, and we're like, hey, that looks like a lot like Mount Moran. Like, nah, it can't be. And then I started backing up and realized we got a view of the Tetons from this overlook that we didn't think we were gonna get.
And more specifically, we can see the Grand Teton from here. It's front and center.
Wow.
So we have made it down the trail from the overlook up there, was where we were, and we're now down at the Green River Lake, which we could see from up there. So it's really cool. It was a neat road to get down. At that point we were kind of ready to be done with the bumpy and just get down to the lake and get lunch. But that's what we're doing now, is getting lunch set up. I think it's gonna be sandwiches, it's gonna be yummy. And from here, after we get a nice view of the lake, it's gonna be on heading north into more of the Wind River Range.
This lake, we came out here last year, and to me, because we went to some of the lakes up in the Jackson Teton area, but somehow this one was just even more spectacular. Part of it is a lot fewer people, kind of have it to yourself, but it is a beautiful lake. Long road to get here, we got a long journey to go. So we popped in here, grabbed lunch, and we're gonna hit the road and find camp for the night. Ultimately, heading north to Du Bois, across Union Pass. So, let's get it. Alrighty, we are heading north on, well, we're still in the Green River Valley. I don't know exactly what road this is by name. We're definitely backing ourselves and ultimately heading up to Union Pass. So this is uncharted territory for all of us. The goal is by tomorrow night, essentially, to be out by Du Bois. So the goal tonight is to get as far north as we can to make that possible tomorrow. We're getting close to where my pink turnoff is. It's not as maintained, quote, maintained, but it could be better depending on the condition of this road, and it's shorter. Let's see what the pink road looks like.
We arrive at the fork in the road, and the pink route to the right looks promising.
We're sticking with the plan. Pink route it is. So this is getting off of the National Forest Road. This is now, well, still National Forest Road, off of the main traversed road.
The road less traveled is always our preference when it comes to overlanding. And in our experience thus far in Wyoming, these roads are often actually smoother than the thoroughfare, which is washboarded and potholed to a pulp. But it doesn't take more than a mile or two down our pink route for it to become clear. For this road less traveled, that is not the case.
What are we thinking, Isaac? What line are we wanting to take?
Well, I'm looking at what I can't straddle. I think I'm just take it head on here, and I'm gonna come over the top of this, and where I'll need you to watch is this side at my quarter panel, right in here.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit passenger. Okay, driver.
Nailed it.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, let's go.
Good job. So there's a painting in my grandparents' house
That is now in your house.
that is now in my house that has a winding 2-track road with aspens all the way up and a mountain in the background. And I'm kind of on the quest to find that perfect spot. And this is about as close as I've seen so far. We might find a better one, but it looks pretty awesome.
Trail been getting tougher and tougher.
Yeah, this trail has turned out to be a nice dandy of a trail. So far we've been able to work through each obstacle, but it's gorgeous, the scenery is awesome. It comes out on the other end, hypothetically.
As we climb our way up this aspen ridge, the obstacles in front of us are not getting any easier.
That one's a problem. It never looks as bad when you get out and look at it. We'll climb up right here and just try to, yeah. Let me think for a second. Do we want to try that, or do we want to try to put a tire on that? Might have to. We'll put a tire on that, tire on that, tire on that. Getting a little bit concerned about making it through this trail. I just had positive thoughts, but if we keep running into things like this,
Driver. That one. Yep. There. Okay. Tires touching. Tires touching. Come on up. Come on up. Good. Okay, you're coming down.
You might want to come a little driver to nail it on the back tire.
Yeah.
You're on the rock on the back.
Okay. A little bit more driver. There you go. Perfect. There you go.
we need to make it through this road today
Yeah.
if we want to go north,
Yeah.
boys. If we don't make it through this road by dark, we need to find a camp on this road, and we turn around and we go back.
Okay. That makes a lot.
That makes sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
that I'm spotting on this. Okay, I'm gonna need a little speed probably to get up this. Come right up here. Missed that. Yeah, I think we just gotta zigzag it up the middle here. Keep it, driver. Miss that rock back there. You're okay on the front here. And you're clear. Awesome. Alrighty, so we have made it through that technical portion, and we've seen our first camper. So I feel like this is the way out. It's interesting because those are the kinds of things that I enjoy and I prepare for, but in the moment it still can be kind of can make you a little nervous. We're out here by ourselves, and we've been doing that quite a bit, but that adds definitely an angst to it. So getting to this obviously maintained road and well on our way to our next camp, it feels good.
There's something about Wyoming that's all in, full commitment. And when you step in with both feet, you'll nearly always get to the other side having grown. Our roads have smoothed out, but it's hard not to feel at least a little uneasy still, with a growing plume of smoke staining the horizon. Hopefully it's nothing significant, but we're keeping one eye on it as we close in on Union Pass and our final camp.
For camp tonight, we're hoping to make it to a lake called Lake of the Woods. This could be a neat place to watch the sun go down. It's a pretty big lake, isn't it?
So the lake, after we got up there, we kind of thought we liked it, and then as we kind of got out and walked around, just didn't quite feel right. And there's a lot of dead trees around there, like almost every tree was dead. It really wasn't a good place for the tents. And we just thought we'd go ahead and move on. So we are continuing north across the Union Pass and looking for the perfect campsite.
This is Union Pass?
We just crossed Union Pass.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, so trying to find the perfect campsite. That's definitely something that many people have done and attempted.
And been successful at.
And we have been very blessed and fortunate this entire trip in finding really wonderful campsites, and we're confident that there's one around the corner.
In uncertain times like these, it never hurts to have a little outside input to point you in the right direction.
How's it going? We're looking for a campsite. You guys camped up here somewhere? Oh, okay.
Oh.
Do you know of any good campsites?
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. So we got a campsite down here.
Yeah, to the left.
Yes.
There are some people
There's somebody there.
Hey, good for them, you know? Good for them. That would have been epic. But you know what? There's more epic around the corner.
Around the corner.
Ah, it's the story of looking for camps.
Oh, I think those are the same people.
So there's some folks that say they live here, and they've just driven back past us and motioned us up this way. So
We're
we're
gonna follow.
following them.
Oh my word! Oh my word! I love it.
We like it.
Are you guys from around here?
No.
No. We're from
Oklahoma. You're camping in grizzly country.
Good to know.
Okay, and I do mean several grizzly. We do have a fire burning over there, as you can see.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's supposedly a cleanup burn.
Okay.
Well, enjoy yourselves in Wyoming. Be safe. Thank
Appreciate
you.
the,
Thank you so
thanks so
much.
much.
As we so often find, we're out here to experience the wilderness, to experience God's creation and the beauty that you can't really get any other way but coming out into the wilderness. But more often than not, our encounters with the people we meet along the way are some of the best experiences we have too. And a couple locals we were just talking to pointed us in the direction of some good campsites and gave us some tips about grizzly country, because this is like they see grizzlies regularly, it sounds like.
They like steering wheels. We've had them jump in our truck when we weren't as educated and lick the salt off the steering wheel.
How about that?
Really cool when you meet some awesome people along the way, and I think this is going to be our awesome 4th camp.
Finding our landing spot for tonight is a win for sure, but it's not the only victory we're celebrating.
What just happened? What just happened?
I got the tailgate open. I stuck the landing. I did it.
So some of you astute viewers may have noticed the 3rd tent in the background of some of the videos. We want to explain that real quick. So let's be honest, nobody enjoys going to the bathroom in the woods, okay? I don't think anybody who camps is like, yeah, that's my favorite part. So we're no different. We aren't big fans of it, and we kind of come up with a solution.
So this is just a cheapo potty tent, toilet tent from Amazon, and a cheapo toilet seat. And it sets up, this pops up like a, like a sun visor, for your car, just pops up and sets up in 5 minutes or less. And it makes life a lot better, believe it or not. Some of us like to rough it, but honestly, regardless of whether I like to rough it or not, this makes my life way easier and those around me way easier. So anyway, yeah.
We aren't pros, but let's just call it a pro tip.
This camp feels like a gift, wrapped up and handed to us, putting the bow on top of our unbelievable adventure in the Wyoming wilderness. We are rolling, so yeah, just your thoughts on what this trip meant to you.
Where to begin? This has been such a special trip for so many reasons. I think one of the main reasons, the outdoors, the mountains, camping, overlanding, that's Isaac's world. And I think it could have been very easy for him to keep it as his world, but that's not what he did. He wanted to bring me into that world. He's taught me so many things to where I feel comfortable in this environment, and that's not typical for me. That's not usual for me.
Getting to do this kind of trip with my wife, I've not done that before. That was super, super fun. The teamwork aspect of that is really enjoyable. Getting to do it with my parents for a part of the trip. Getting to share everything that we're seeing with people that you care about.
To me, this was everything an overlanding trip should be. Everything I like about these trips. And for me, it always centers around the filming because for whatever reason, I can't really explain it, but I just really like making videos. I like filming, I like editing, and I got, I think, my best shots ever on this trip. That's kind of the number one thing to me until I really think about it, and I realize the number one thing definitely is doing it with the people I love. And the only way that really comes into focus is if you step back and you think, what if I did this by myself? Without these people I love, it wouldn't be the same experience. It wouldn't be half of the enjoyment I got out of this.
I so enjoyed discovery. And discovery is not limited to where does the road lead. Discovery is everywhere you look. And so it doesn't matter if you don't get outside your county. You can still discover everything you need to.
On this trip, it was really cool, the number of things that we planned that worked out, but it was also cool the things that changed from the plan and worked out better than what we had expected. It's kind of the unplanned ones that end up being more satisfying even. It's like things that you wouldn't have known that could happen, and then they popped in and happened. We've seen the moose, hearing the elk bugling, those kinds of things that you would have no way of knowing.
I love that you experience these things and you look back on this moment in your life and you know from this point forward, I'm not going to be the same person that I was coming into this. That's what I love about these trips, is how much it brings to me so personally. The fact that this is just a setting, but the real stuff that's happening, that goes home with you.
Trips like this don't happen more than about once a year for us. So I am really happy to have had this experience. I look forward to the next one, whenever it happens, wherever it happens. But this one sure was epic.